Well, good day, boys and girls. Did you miss me? I know you did. Hey, today we're going to resurrect these old halogen work lights that I have on a stand. I'll show you the whole thing here in a second. But yeah, I had these out in the garage. I hated them. They were hotter than East bejesus. The 500 watt bulbs, you could get lower ones, but would blind you. And if it fell over, your halogen bulbs would bust. And then you didn't have any light at all. It was ridiculous. So they've been sitting over there collecting dust forever. But then I thought for a second, it's like, I'm going to buy some LED ones, you know, to replace this. And then I thought, well, wait a second. I wonder if they have LED replacement bulbs for them. And by golly, they do. So I searched, and I only went with 100 watters. And I'm telling you what, 100 watts going to be perfect for me. Or not 100 watts power out of the outlet, but comparable to a 100 watt bulb. And yeah, let me just show you real quick here. They're bright, but I'm gonna go over it. I'm gonna, you know, replace the old halogens. I already did it, but I'm gonna show you how to do it. It's really simple. And then one little hack that I'm gonna do to make this even better. So yeah, I resurrected these old lights, and yeah, let's get after this. Let me show you how to replace them. They're really simple. And then the little hack I'm gonna do to keep these bulbs working for a long time. Let's get after it. All right, so basically you're just gonna take a Phillips. There's one screw up at the top here. Take out the Phillips screw. I mean, this is all common sense, and it just flops right open here. That's it. That's all you have to do to get in here. And then these, you want to start with the one end that's closed. Take your new LED light, stick it in there, make sure it gets on that little nub there, and then other end gets a nub, gets on the nub, and then next thing you want to do is just try it real quick. Make sure it's set. Oh yeah, make sure it's getting full juice and making good contact. That's it. Now here's where the hack comes in. These sitting here loose, so if it falls over, they're gonna pop out. They might jiggle around and not make good contact. So since this is probably the last time I'm changing them out, I'm gonna hot glue the two corners in just to keep them from rattling around. So yeah, I'm gonna heat up the old gun. I'm not prepared yet, and let's just hot glue these in, shut them up, and then I'll show you how they work. We'll point them at the car and see how they look. Well, boys and girls, I'm back. Did you miss me? I know you did. Hey, let's get after this. Now, you might have a little bit of trouble finding this because your wife, she probably did some crafting and it's buried in some drawer somewhere, and you're gonna get in a fight just asking for this sucker, but you'll finally get it. And again, it'll be empty almost. It'll be down. Heck, you know, she won't have loaded it with a new stick. So you're gonna wanna find one of these things too. I think there's a smidge in here. I'm not gonna need much, so let's get after it. Try. All right, gave it a try. Yeah, I mean, now whenever this thing falls over, those halogens would bust even if they stayed in the socket. They're not very good at falling down the middle inside and stuff, but these LEDs shouldn't bust if they fall over. They won't be as fragile as the other ones. So I'm gonna let this sit there and dry. I'm gonna repeat the process on the one over there. I'm not gonna show you that. And then I'll show you how they work it's daylight out here, but you know, you can't see the engine during the day in the garage. You know, it's not easy to see down in the engine bay. So I'm going to shine this sucker down in there, and we're going to see how these 100-watt replacement style bulbs work whenever I'm working on the car and stuff. And again, they're equivalent to a 100-watt bulb, but I think they only take like 15 or 30 watts or something like that to run these suckers. So they're not going to get blazing hot and burn you up like, oh my gosh, there's 500-watt halogens. Now, you know, you might need a 500 watts if you're trying to play baseball in your backyard. But I mean, just working on the car, those 500 watters were ludicrous. They were so bright. And if you looked at them, my God, you were blind for 2 days straight. So yeah, I'm just trying to kill some time until this glue dries, but I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. Let this dry up. I'm going to do the other one, and then we'll go test it. All right, I'm out in the garage here now, and you see I have that light on, but you can clearly see there's a dark void in there. So we're going to go ahead and put on 1, put on 2, and yeah. Now down in that cavity down in there, you can really see what's going on. Again, these aren't blazing. Let's go over here. Let's show over there. See, got the light coming in. Well, they're really good at directing light into a certain area. So if you're working late out in the garage, you're gonna have enough light, especially whenever you're old like me, to see a lot better. And these are, you know, they don't light up the whole garage. They're very directional. And so, yeah, again, let's go look over here. Say I'm over here, I wanna lighten it up in here so I can see. There you go. Well, all right, boys and girls, just in conclusion, I want to say this is a win. They're not going to, you know, bounce around. They're not going to come loose. I hate those connectors for the halogens, but we don't have to worry about that anymore now. You know, the 100 watters I think are plenty. You can get the 300 watters for a little bit more money. I think these ran between $15 and $20. I'll put a link in the description below. I love them as long as they hold up and last a long time, which if they're LEDs, they should. And I don't use these very often anyways. So I'm thinking this is a lifetime fix. And so resurrecting my old halogen work lights that I really honestly hated because the bulbs always didn't work when I needed them to. They're always broke and just a pain in the butt. So I just took this from being an old halogen system, upgraded it to being LED system, and for under 20 bucks, I think you can get a new, this is a stout stand. I'm talking, this probably ran me some money back in the day. And to get a nice one with a big stand like this would probably cost, I'm gonna say 40 bucks or more, at least, with the new LED lights on top of them. So I'm saying, I'm saving probably 20 bucks by just buying the bulbs and convert. And these things aren't going to get blazing hot. Oh my God, the halogens. I mean, if you just stood right here, the heat would just, you know, it's hot in my garage right now, but my gosh, if you had 500 watts, 1,000 watts going, it's cooking you out. I'm telling you, I really like these only being like 30 watts and 30 watts or something like that. Look in the description down below. Go look at the links and they'll tell you how many watts these are actually using. But I'm not worried about the hot glue melting or anything like that because these bulbs shouldn't get hot at all. And so, win-win. Alrighty, knuckleheads, you have a good day. And yeah, go sweat in your garage a little bit. Get some work done.